Welcome to a very important cause. This video is our way of introducing ourselves and our work to you. We in the Order of St. Lazarus are proud both of our ancient heritage and of facing today's challenges. It is our hope that you too might see the need and consider joining us.
A tsunami tidal wave crashed into the resort area of Thailand today, killing hundreds and making thousands homeless.
Hurricane Katrina made landfall today, smashing the Louisiana coast with winds of over 100 miles an hour.
Flooding has paralyzed the country for miles around, and the forecast calls for 3 more days of rain.
A tornado ripped through the county, causing widespread damage and loss of life.
An earthquake measuring 5.6 has occurred in central China. No word yet on the extent of damages.
What the world has always needed is help for the helpless. What the world has always needed and needs today, more than ever, is for individuals to band together and show courage in action. And one thing is certain, the need for nobility, for loyalty, for tenacity, and especially for compassion never changes, ever. And that is the mission of the Order of Companions, the Order of St. Lazarus. Palliative care, or the care of the terminally ill and dying, is a growing concern throughout Canada, as it is in every developed society. But did you know that the first hospice in the world was established outside the walls of Jerusalem in the 11th century? It was set up by the first Knights of St. Lazarus. These brave men were, in every sense, the medics of the Crusades. At first, the Order's special concern was for those suffering from leprosy, one of the oldest and most feared of diseases. But now the Order includes both women and men from all walks of life, and their mission has expanded.
One doesn't often think of knights and healing in the same font, but with the Order of St. Lazarus, we can make that connection. Through their commanderies or local branches, the Order has been responsible, among other things, for palliative care beds, for hospice education, and for this book on care for the dying, The Caregiver's Guide. It's a wonderful resource for helping family members and other volunteers work with the terminally ill.
These medieval medics, these leper knights, looked around for a name that would fit their work with the sick and the dying, and they chose the name St. Lazarus.
Now a certain man was ill, Lazarus of Bethany, the village of Mary and her sister Martha. So the sisters sent a message to Jesus. "Lord," they said, "he whom you love is ill."
He was the friend of Jesus, Jesus' best friend, according to some. Lazarus was the one who was said to have been raised by Jesus from the dead. It's the only place in the Bible where it says that Jesus actually weeps when his friend dies.
So the way I see it, what's important to the Order is a lesson they learned centuries ago. That lesson, that wherever there is need or suffering, there should always be companionship and hope.
Now, the Order of St. Lazarus is a non-profit federal institution with fully accredited charitable status. It was reborn actually, in Canada in 1962. That year, the Honourable Kay Keeler Mackay, the Lieutenant Governor of Ontario, arranged for 20 people to be invested. The Order of St. Lazarus' stated purpose at that initial investiture, and ever since, has been to support medical research.
To engage in hospice and leprosy care.
To help in ecumenical initiatives, partly by sponsoring bursaries to deserving and needy Canadian students.
And to alleviate suffering.
The cross is green because green is the color of plants, trees, and grown things.
But since the 1960s, Canada has changed, and the Order has changed with it. From those humble beginnings, St. Lazarus has spread and prospered. These days, the women and men of the Order of St. Lazarus in Canada come from all backgrounds and all walks of life.
In addition to helping with education and funding palliative care in Canada, and to our monetary support for global disaster relief, the Canadian Order of St. Lazarus also supports international centres where leprosy is treated. 3 such places where the Knights are helping are the Little Flower Hospital in Nihar, India, the Nainai Hospital in Uttar Pradesh, and the McKean Rehabilitation Center for Leprosy Patients in Thailand.
Now, you might be asking yourself about this term knights. Why in the world would any society anywhere need knights? Aren't they symbols of a bygone day?
What place is there in today's globalized world culture for chivalry?
Well, it's true that the Knights of St. Lazarus may not look like the storybooks of yesteryear.
What use is an order from the Middle Ages? You might ask, what use is human community and caring? Some things don't change. I mean, some things just shouldn't change. What hasn't gone out with the times and should never go out of date are certain values.
From the traditional oath of knighthood, we hear that nobility, courage, loyalty, courtesy, largesse, hardiness, prowess, humility, and tenacity are the highest ideals of knighthood.
Now, if anything, for our world to survive, the values first called chivalric have to become the values of our global society. And these values aren't this group's or that group's values, they're human values. To go forth into the world with courage, to support the weak, to help the afflicted, and to honor all people. These qualities are the secret to the power of chivalry today. A person who lives by the code of chivalry in our world works not only to embody these virtues, but perhaps even more importantly, to bring them out in the people they see every day, at home, in the office, at school, or even on the street corner.
The members of the Order of St. Lazarus, its knights, dames, and commanders, are people like you and me, who agree to take on positions of responsibility, to help their fellow persons, and to be recognized for their work with others. For example, there is the annual Emerald Ball in Quebec City, or the Emerald Shucker in Toronto. Other commanderies across Canada host other events.
We hope that some part of our tradition and mission, our history, our commitments, and our work has perhaps brought you to the point of asking how you might become involved. To that end, the Military and Hospitaller Order of St. Lazarus would like to share with you our exciting new directions.
There is a growing need for hospice care in Canada and a growing recognition of the importance of support for individuals and families facing the end of life.
Palliative care is in every way the cause of a lifetime. And the Order of St. Lazarus, with its tradition of being companions, even unto death, is answering that call.
We stand ready to help you and others who may wish to contribute to this important volunteer task.
So, you may be asking yourself how you can find out more about the Order, perhaps with the option of becoming a palliative care volunteer, or perhaps also a member of the Order itself.
You may be interested in finding out more about how to contribute financially to our palliative care, disaster relief, or other efforts.
There are commanderies or local offices in the Order across Canada. Members can be found in Atlantic Canada, in Quebec, in Ontario, across the Prairie provinces, and in British Columbia.
Wherever you are, someone from the Order of St. Lazarus will be happy to talk to you about sharing in this exciting work. Contact us for more information. We welcome you to our cause.
Join us in the greatest fight of life, the fight for dignity, for caring, and for companionship.
Our children, and their children, and their children will not ask what we built, how much money we made, or what degrees we had, or any of these questions. The most important question our children and their children and their children will ask, did they care? And what will our answer be?